Hey loves, today I'm coming to you with a video about how I bond with my son. If you follow me on social media, then you already know I have a 5-year-old son. His name is Jenell Stewart Jr. and you can actually follow him on Instagram if you are interested in some of the things that he does. My son is camera shy, so if you follow me on my social media, you'll notice that he doesn't pop up as often as my daughter, and I don't update his own page as often because I gotta catch him in action. So you'll see more pictures of him when he's like doing something, and even videos of him when he's doing something and his attention isn't exactly on like pose, smile for mommy. He's not really into that kind of thing. But I thought it would be great because I know many of you are moms with sons, and as someone who has a 5-year-old, I've learned different ways to bond with him. Now, I don't want to fall prey into any type of stereotypes. I know that it's not true that boys are more physical than girls, and I know that it's not true because my son is not a very physical boy. Although he does like sports and he is very rambunctious, he's really high energy, and he does love to play. He's also very sensitive and he is very emotional. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you some of the ways I bond with my son, and maybe these are ways that you can bond with your son as well. Oh, and if you are a mom who has a baby, I want to just shout out this coupon. This video is not sponsored by Huggies, but I am doing a sponsorship with Huggies in general, and I just wanted to share with all of you this coupon. You can save $2.50 all year on Huggies Pampers and Huggies wipes. So that's a little bonus for you if you have children. Visit the link in the description box and save yourself a couple dollars on Pampers because I know they're not cheap. All right, so let's get into the ways that we bond. So the very first way that I bond with my son is by pretty much like listening to him. My son is very, very talkative, and it's not every single day that I want for him to talk my ear off, but I do understand how important it is for him to just be vocal. And as someone who is very vocal and loves to have conversation, I see that in him. So when he's just asking away, talking, I just listen, I'm engaged. I'm like, oh wow, yeah, really? Ooh, how did that happen? What did you think about that? So I'm just really, really engaged, and I just let him just talk. The second way that I bond with my son is when he comes home from pre-K, I make sure that I ask him lots of questions. I don't believe in what did you do at school today as a question to get kids to talk, because someone who used to be a teacher, I was a former teacher, y'all, I know that that doesn't work. Obviously they did something, but then when you ask them, they tell you, I don't know, I don't remember, nothing, I did school stuff. Like, they don't really give you good answers. So I try to ask him questions about his day that I know would require more of an answer. So for example, what did you have for breakfast today? Who did you sit with at breakfast? Did anyone help you clean up your breakfast? And because I'm familiar with the different parts of his classroom school day, I ask him questions around that. So if it's a gym day, what activities did you do at gym? If it's a library day, what story did the librarian read? If it's the teacher also reads to them in classroom, what book did your teacher read today? They have a smart board and they get to do activities on there every now and then. So I'll ask him, did you use a smart board today? They have various centers and they don't get to go to every center every day. So I'll ask him, did you go to the kitchen center today? No, I was in the, counting station or whatever it may be. So that's the second way that I bond with him, by like just making him share with me his day. The third way that I bond with my son is we eat together. And yes, I do this with my daughter as well, she's there, but during our dinner and during our lunch, when we're eating together, we're communicating and we're talking. And the more and more I talk with my son, the more and more his language develops, and we just get to know each other a lot better because Joel is a talker. So this is a lot of the things that we do involve him talking. The fourth thing that I do to bond with my son is I read to him. When he's with me throughout the day, I read to him during nap time. But there's also a couple days a week where he goes to daycare after preschool, so I don't read to him on those days. I don't read to him for nap time on those days, but every single night I read to him, or, you know, my husband reads to him too. But that's just one of the ways that we bond, is we read together. And the fifth way I bond with my son, we clean his room together. Now, I know this might not be like the most fun type of bonding experience, but obviously cleaning his room is a chore. And for him, it's not always as easy. It's not always as fast. I'm not the type of mom who says, all right, go clean your room, and just waits for him to do it, because it kind of never happens. But my goal is obviously to get him to that point. But I'm also not the type of mom who goes in the room and just cleans up everything. That doesn't work either. I'm more of like, okay, pick up that car, where does it go? Pick up that transformer, where does it go? I see a sock over there, where does it go? Is dirty or clean? Why is your pillow on the floor? Put it back on the bed. Like, that's me. I'll give him direction to give him support in cleaning, because the goal is ultimately he'll be able to do it all by himself, and his room will be spick and span, or maybe he won't dirty it at all. Beggars can't be choosers. I help him, and it's a bonding moment because we'll talk about stuff as he's doing it, and when he gets distracted, I wake him back up. Am I on number 6? The 6th way that I bond with my son is through play. My son loves Transformers. He also loves Hot Wheel cars. So whatever his interests are, you know, at that given time, if it's dinosaurs, Hot Wheels, Transformers, whatever, we play. I don't feel like you need to spend an hour playing with your children. You just need to give them some time. The big thing for me with playing with my son is I try to teach him how to not be bossy, because he wants me to play his way, and I want him to be open-minded to accepting people's imaginations. And even though a Transformer may not, quote unquote, let's say dance, if we're playing together and I'm like, I feel like dancing, I need him to be able to appreciate my imagination, appreciate my sense of humor, and likewise, I do the same with him. The 7th way that I bond with my son is through puzzles. My son loves puzzles. He's always loved puzzles, even from when he was a little baby boy. And so we do puzzles together. We try to go with puzzles that are bigger pieces, so that they don't take like all day to do. The goal is to just have some time together doing an activity together. And puzzles are great because it's great problem solving, great critical thinking, spatial awareness, a lot of mobile dexterity in there, and fine motor skills. So we love doing puzzles. Get puzzles that are, like I said, bigger in size, so you're not spending like the entire afternoon trying to put together a puzzle, and it kind of sucks when you start a puzzle and you can't finish it. So get the bigger pieces and then you work with that. The 8th thing that I do with my son is we actually study. I do most of my son's homework with him, and I also teach him sight words. I teach him how to read. I teach him how to write. I teach him how to spell. And overall, I'm an educator, so naturally that was the role that I took in my family, to work with him on that. So I teach him how to read. I'm teaching him how to spell. I'm teaching him how to do his math and everything. And we do his homework. So it's a great bonding experience for me because we get to work one-on-one. The 9th thing that I do to bond with my son is we watch movies, or we watch TV like Netflix or whatever. Moana has been like the #1 movie that they want to watch all the time now, so we'll watch that most of the time. But he does have other interests like on Netflix, so we tend to watch whatever it is he wants to watch. And he's a type of movie watcher that asks you a lot of questions, as if you were the producer, the editor, the executive producer. He asks you so many questions, things that you may not know, because obviously you're both watching it together. But during the time when we're bonding, I'll just, you know, try my best. Like, I'll tell him what I think may be happening. I'll say, I don't know, but maybe this, you know, or I don't know, let's wait and see. Something along those lines, so that we can just really like bond, and not to get upset or frustrated because he keeps interrupting and I can't watch the show. Although sometimes that absolutely does happen, but when it's a moment where I'm trying to like bond with him, I do my best not to like do that. And the 10th way that I bond with my son is through his extracurricular activities. It's so important for me to be able to watch him excel and achieve and just be his best. And so when he goes to Taekwondo, when he goes to soccer, when he does swimming, or whatever it is that he's doing, I try to be there at every single practice as often as I can. Of course, my husband and I share the responsibility, so I may not be at every single one in the week, but overall throughout the month, I try to make make sure that I go to an equal amount as my husband will to support him and be there for him and root him on. I am naturally more vocal between my husband and I, so when I'm there, I'm like the cheerleader. I'm like, woohoo, good job. I'm giving him thumbs up from across the room or across the field, and I'm just like there being like the side coach, just trying to make sure his head is in the game and he's focused and he's excited. And those are 10 things that I do to bond with my son. Don't forget to check out the Huggies coupon. The link is in the description box. You can save $2.50 all year round when you buy Huggies Pampers and wipes from Family Dollar. And please let me know, what are the things that you do to bond with your son? And I want to know specifically sons. I know there's a bunch of you that have daughters. If you would like for me to make a video on how I bond with my daughter, please give this video a thumbs up. If I can get this video to, let's say, 500 likes, is that too low? Should we do 1,000? Let's do 500. If we can get this video to 500 likes, I'll make the same type of video on how I bond with my daughter. Please make sure, if you're not already, subscribe to this channel. And as always, I love you for watching. Bye.